Hello and welcome back. I'm so happy to have you here. I hope you find this a soft place to land. If you're a business owner or an entrepreneur in the wellness space with a story that is a little bit different than the typical corporate burnout turned coach that we hear about. But if you are a corporate burnout turned coach, you are also very welcome here. So if you've had a single conversation with me lately, you know that I am in my gym rat era and I can feel the people who know me listening to this and roll their eye all the way to the back of the head. I am tracking my lift. I am tracking my macros. I am trying to eat enough protein, enough fiber, and I am showing up even if I'd rather stay in bed with my dog. I look phenomenal. Just kidding. I look good. It's fine. It didn't just change my body. The gym completely rewired how I run my business. So if you're a wellness professional, a healer, a coach who's perhaps not seeing the results you want from the hustling that you do, you may want to give this one a listen, even if you don't go to the gym. So let me take you back a few years. I was coming out of eating disorder recovery. My body had changed in ways I wasn't super comfortable with. I was dealing with body dysmorphia and unprocessed trauma. I was also trying to build a full-time photography business. At the time, just photography, which is quite competitive, whilst living in a city where I have no safety net, no family money to fall back on, and no fucking clue on what I was doing. I needed softness, I needed permission to rest, I needed to give myself the time to heal without the pressure of producing or performing all the time. Life was really hard. I leaned into my yoga practice. I let myself move slowly. I stopped forcing myself to show up in ways that felt misaligned. And I worked really hard on healing my relationship with my body. I learned a lot about body neutrality, body positivity, weight-based stigma. I needed to heal my mind. But there is a point where softness without structure becomes very stagnating. And I was becoming too permissive with myself. My photography business was going nowhere. I was seeking comfort, which is okay. Sometimes it is definitely what you need. And that's what I needed at the time. But I was hiding from my potential. I was hiding from discomfort because growing is uncomfortable. So when I started the gym in 2024, it wasn't just about getting stronger. It was about proving to myself that I could commit to doing something hard, that I could promise myself something and then keep my promise, and that I could follow through and build something with consistency instead of just relying on inspiration. So here are the lessons I've learned from going to the gym. Lesson number 1, you hear this everywhere on gym talk. Follow the plan, not the mood. Motivation can only get you so far, whether it's at the gym or in your business. Sometimes you wake up, you feel like shit. You still have to work. Motivation is not a reliable way to make you do things. And you need a plan. You need a plan when you are very low on spoons, when it's cold, it's raining, when you had a breakup, when you are in the middle of a house move. You can't build a sustainable business on motivation alone. Motivation is fickle. You need to know what you are going to be doing each day, each week, maybe each month, quarterly and yearly is great as well, but not everyone is there yet because no one is rooting for your business as much as you are. So if you let yourself down on the promises that you made for yourself, no one else is going to build your business. The same way that no one else is going to build your booty if this is what you want. I've given up on mine. For me, it looks like posting consistently on various social media, and it means that I'm scheduling a lot of things in advance, even when I feel like no one gives a shit about what I have to say. It means sending my newsletter regularly, even if people unsubscribe. How dare you, first of all. It means working on my offerings. It means selling even if I don't feel like it, because I need to sell my shit. I have bills to pay. Lesson number 2, progressive overload. I am not going to explain that to you in details because it's very easy to find the information if you're not a gym goer. But very quickly, in the gym, progressive overload is the principle of gradually increasing the weight that you're lifting or the number of reps or of sets, so your muscles are forced to grow. If you lift the same weight every week, you're not going to see the changes that you want to see if you are bodybuilding or strength training. Your body gets comfortable, there's no growth, there's no reason for it to change. And business is the same. If you're doing the same thing than you were doing last year, posting the same kind of content, charging the same rates, and yet you want to scale your business and you want to see growth, then why are you doing the same thing that you were doing last year if you don't want the same results? Growth requires discomfort. It requires you to stretch beyond what feels safe or familiar, which means raise your prices, even if it's a little bit scary. Launch new offerings, even if they flop. Invest in your business. Challenge yourself. Lesson number 3, maybe the most important. Rest is part of the plan and not a reward. In the gym, rest days are not optional. In fact, when you are resting is when your muscles are building themselves up after being broken down at the gym. If you train every single day, you don't get stronger, you injure yourself. But we've been conditioned that rest is something we earn, that we need to be productive. Especially if you are neurodivergent, you are very likely working extra hard to do your day-to-day tasks. I certainly felt the need to compensate for what I perceived as my shortcomings by working more than necessary. And that has been a pattern in a lot of jobs that I had. I have business owners friends, and I know you're listening to this, who don't take a single day off. They work every day. It's still work. You need space to fully switch off. But when you build your own business, you kind of think that you have deadlines. Sometimes you do, for some things, for client work. But for a lot of the things, you don't have deadlines. The deadlines are the ones that you are imposing on yourself. So go to bed. For me, sometimes it means that I take Fridays off sometimes. I definitely take Saturday and Sunday off most weeks. Sometimes I can't, and that's okay. But if it's possible, then I will take at least 2 days off. I block out time in my calendar to go for walks, to do some yoga. I am not scheduling back-to-back shoots, and I am not scheduling back-to-back calls. I find calls very difficult. And I only take calls from Monday to Thursday in the morning, never in the afternoon. And I give myself permission to have slow seasons where I'm not launching anything, when I'm not selling. I just take so many holidays. Rest isn't the opposite of productivity. Rest is what makes productivity sustainable. All right, friends, this is the end. Thank you for listening. Feel free to interact with this podcast wherever you are hearing or seeing it. Feel free to follow me on all of the social platforms. Feel free to say hi. Let me know if you relate to anything that I say. You can find all of the relevant link in the description. Bisous!